Good evening, this is the news plug. Welcome to the broadcast. My name is Gonjo Maina. The Chief Justice Martha Koome, Speaker of the National Assembly, Justin Muturida, and the Parliamentary Committee on Budget prepared a session to improve good cooperation between the government institutions early today. And speaking at the session, Judge Koome explained her sorrow due to the lack of judges in the court department.
Foreseeable future. Let me speak about our digital strategy. The digital strategy of the judiciary harbors great promise of creating a modern, efficient, and agile judiciary that offers e-justice. That is, it offers its services on a secure, responsive, and user-friendly electronic platform that is accessible across the country. Our intention is that all judicial services should be fully automated and integrated. The way the government is talking about e-government, e-citizen, e-services, we in the judiciary are talking about e-justice. We have already automated some of the court processes in some court stations. These include filing systems, transcription services, payment systems, amongst others. The e-court system is currently at 30% implementation status, and we have automated 32 out of 654 courtrooms.
Kenya Kwanza Coalition toured Kilifi and Mombasa counties for the third day in Mombasa County with the Forest Road incident and the ongoing border operations. Others operators crackdown taking center stage, and the leaders condemned the operation against border in the country, and they want the government to hunt down criminals and not harass all border operators.
We invited them to come here so that we can talk to them about the coming elections, and especially about our presidential candidate and how to campaign for our presidential candidate. But even much more so, to also talk to them about the coming nominations for the party ticket, and also ensure that as they are telling them that there is going to be transparency in the way this exercise is going to be.
And on some other news, at the United Democratic Movement Party's NDC, that is the National Delegates Conference, where he was endorsed as the presidential candidate, Raila Odinga vowed his government would invest heavily in promoting breeds of livestock, combating drought, and buying their produce, that is milk and meat, to revamp the standard economy. And the presidential aspirant added that he will turn the region into a global livestock market by investing in meat factories. And the party, led by Mandera County Governor, that is Ali Roba, in their National Delegates Conference, NDC, resolved unanimously to propel Odinga to State House come August 9. Now, Odinga was flanked by leaders affiliated to Azimio la Umoja outfit, including Laikipia County Governor Nderito Mureithi, Kitui Governor Charity Ngilu as well.
Zingine tunapata tukifanya nomination.
Kwa hivyo ile tumehimiza sana ni wale vijana wa bodaboda. Vijana wa bodaboda tumekuwa na viongozi wao na tumeelewana kwamba lazima watii sheria. Serikali itaendelea na operesheni, na kwa hivyo polisi wamepatiwa agizo ya kuhakikisha kwamba wamefanya operesheni kutarget wale wachache ambao wanavunja sheria.
Hatutaki ujangili wa aina yoyote, ikiwa kutoka bodaboda, ikiwa kutoka mahala ingine, ikiwa kutoka Al-Shabaab. Ile assurance ambayo sisi kama elders tunataka kupatia serikali ya kuwa tuko na serikali, tutasupport serikali. Sisi tunataka peaceful election.
Hatutakubali.
Boda riders today have conducted demonstrations in Kerugoya and along Thika Highway, asking the President Uhuru Kenyatta to loosen the rules imposed on them. And meanwhile, the former has weighed in on the viral Forest Road video in which rogue boda riders were filmed harassing a female motorist and speaking in a rally at the Maua Stadium in Meru County today. The former Prime Minister condemned the act but also advised the police to spare innocent riders.
So tunaomba wale watu ambaye pia hawana hii leseni wakuje pale. Lakini tulikuwa tunaomba serikali yetu kuu kwamba sisi tunaenda polepole, manake leseni ni kitu inaenda polepole. So tulikuwa tunaomba kwamba wangelitupa muda, tungejadili watupe muda ili tupate kuona kwamba wanabodaboda wetu wamepata leseni na wanabodaboda wetu wako sawa. So langu tu ninaomba serikali kwamba itusamee hapo, manake ukweli wa mambo kwamba wakisema kwamba lazima tukue na leseni, kila mtu atakaa nyumbani. So nilikuwa naomba kwamba watusamee, tuende tu tuwaambie hao majamaa washikilie tu kwamba pikipiki isitembee bila namba, pikipiki mtu avae kama mwanabodaboda,
Kutokana na amri ya rais tayari imeanzwa, na yale mumeona huko nje mimi ndio yamefanya mkuja hapa, ni kwamba imesemekana na tutatii hiyo amri kwamba watu wakuwe na license, watu wakuwe na insurance, watu wafuate masharti yale yako katika hii sekta yenu ya bonda.
Tunataka kuelewa tu serikali nayo itatumia mbinu gani sisi kuwajua hawa ni maafisa na sio wahalifu, kwa sababu utapata watu wako civilian wanakuja wanashika pikipiki bila kujua yeye ni nani. Alafu ukimwachia pikipiki anaenda njia zake na wewe unafikiria pikipiki kwa polisi na kumbe pikipiki iko kwa polisi. Nataka tu serikali tuhimize kwa hilo.
Na swali ni je, kama nyinyi serikali wa hapa Bungoma na tumekaa kwa usalama na sisi katika stage zetu na tunajua ya kwamba kila mtu anatoka kwa familia tofauti tofauti, na kama serikali mmeongelea juu ya mimi kama mwanapotapota kufaa reflector, kufaa viatu, nikuwe na license, nikuwe na insurance.
And on some other sad news, a middle-aged man in Kakamega County was today physically assaulted by being beaten at the groin by his neighbor who was fighting with his brother. And the victim is said to have approached the two siblings while they were fighting and tried to intervene when the perpetrator turned to him and beat his groin. Now, he was later rushed on to the hospital. He is currently receiving treatment. And on some other news, Basigo, a Kenyan electric vehicle EV startup, has released its first bus costing $5 million just 4 months after its launch. The 25-seater electric bus, which was designed and assembled with BID automotive parts, will have a 4-hour charge capacity retention, allowing for a 250-kilometer range before recharging. And Jeet, that is the chief executive and founder of move, will usher in a cleaner future for public transportation in Kenya at the launch on Wednesday at the Kenya International Convention Center, that is KICC.
City Hopper will provide buses between the city center and Jomo Kenyatta International Airport as part of the partnership program, while East Shuttle will provide buses along the Eastlands routes. Basigo has also teamed up with Kenya Power to provide electricity to charge the batteries. According to acting Kenya Power CEO Rosemary Odur, Kenya Power has established a liaison office which will act as a one-stop shop to champion the company's e-mobility business to support the growth of electrified motorization in the country. Pay-as-you-drive credit as well as maintenance and charging services will be available to buyers. They will be subjected to a daily subscription fee of 20 shillings per kilometer to cover the cost of leasing the battery.
This is a historic moment. We are here launching the very first electric bus in Kenya into passenger operations. And I want to really thank you all for joining us for this moment. Our bus sector is 100% reliant on imported diesel fuel. With conflict right now, terrible conflict, erupting in Europe, we are now seeing the highest oil prices in our lifetime. Compounded with fluctuations in foreign exchange, the price of diesel is now a direct threat to the business of bus operators. And as we know, fuel prices are just one problem. electrifying buses in Kenya would have a greater impact on climate change than almost anywhere else in the world.
I want to say that the launch of this new product, the electric bus, is indeed a demonstration that we have a very feasible environment for investment. I want to do thumbs up to the government for that.
And maybe if you can just that I've just brought to you about a man in Kakamega County who was physically assaulted by being beaten at the groin by his neighbor who was fighting with his brother, and the victim is said to have approached the two siblings while they were fighting and tried to intervene when the perpetrator turned to him and beat his groin. The victim was later rushed to the hospital where he is currently receiving treatment.
Dada alikuwa anapikana na kaga yake. Vile niende kukataza hiyo vita, ndio huyo dada akaniuma. Vile waliachana na gaga yake, alikuja tu kwangu na akaniangukia. Nilijaribu kujitetea, lakini sikupata vile naweza jitetea. Uchungu nilisikia, lakini nilivumilia kama mwanaume. Sikutumia damu, ndio ilikuwa inanimwagika, lakini sikuita tamu. Nilisema tamu imwagike, lakini mimi mayai ruti ndani. Niliomba mayai kurudi ndani, lakini tamu imwakike.
Nilikutana na Anthony nikamuuliza nini imetendeka. Kaniambia kwamba huko jini kuna mwanamke ambaye anaitwa Kontolata Mate. Walikuwa na ndugu yako kipikana. Wakati nilipokuwa nikakawanyisha, wakafanya nini? Akashika ume wangu akakata, mama moja akafanya nini? Kaanguka kando. So nilishangaa, nikajaribu kumfuatilia, nikamchukua, nikampeleka wapi?
And moving on with our news, the Norway government has donated funds to motivate the entrepreneurs and innovators to be involved in technology innovations in order to aid the persons with disabilities in the African countries. And the new cooperation of International Technology Innovation Center is to help the Disabled Reserve Justice and Communication Technology of Norway, together with NORAD Association, has shown a new awakening to increase the innovations in Africa, and innovators are now required to use technological innovators applications to help the disabled by providing services and solutions to their problems. In our international news, 3 people, including a child, were killed in a Russian strike on a maternity and children's hospital in the city of Mariupol. And President Volodymyr Zelensky, that is the Ukrainian president, said that people were trapped under the wreckage and called the attack a war crime.
17 people were injured, including staff and patients. Pavlo Krylenko, the head of Donetsk Regional Administration, which includes the port city of Mariupol, says the attack happened during an agreed ceasefire with the Russian side. The strike has caused colossal damage, including burned out buildings, destroyed cars, and a huge crater outside the hospital. Mariupol has been surrounded by Russian forces for several days, and repeated attempts at a ceasefire to allow civilians to leave have broken down.
We have not done and would never do anything like this war crime in any of the cities of the Donetsk or Lugansk region. Because we are people. But are you? The bombing of the maternity hospital is the final proof. Proof that the genocide of Ukrainians is taking place. Europeans, you can't say that you didn't see what happened to Ukrainians, what happened in Mariupol, with the people of Mariupol. You saw, you know.
Ukraine's armed forces agreed to stop firing on Wednesday along 6 evacuation routes for 12 hours from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. local time. Moscow said it would honor the ceasefire, but Russian shelling continued, with further reports of civilian deaths. Christine Mutindi reporting for SHANI TV.
And Karim Benzema produced the memorable hat-trick as Real Madrid completed a stunning comeback to dump Paris Saint-Germain out of the Champions League, and Kylian Mbappe's first half strike put PSG in the driving seat with a 2-0 lead in the aggregate. Benzema scored 3 goals after the break as Madrid claimed a 3-2 victory. And on that note, maybe if we can just have a look on the weather updates in the country as per tomorrow, that is the 11th of March 2022. We have in the major counties, that is Nairobi, Kisumu, Mombasa, and maybe some of the towns like Thika. And maybe we have in Nairobi County, we shall have a little bit of a sunny in the morning with a little bit of clouds, that is in Nairobi County. With Mombasa County, a little bit cloudy but sunny with highs of 25 degrees on that note. And in Nakuru County, it shall be a little bit cloudy with highs of 15 degrees, that is a little bit low. And in Kisumu, it shall as well be cloudy, that is as per tomorrow, with highs of 22. In Thika and Malindi, a little bit cloudy as well, with 16 highs and 24 respectively. Those are some of the weather forecast as per tomorrow, that is the 11th of March 2022, and that marks the end of our broadcast tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a very lovely night. My name is Gonjo Waina.
Welcome to Mountain View Gardens Nanyuki by Finca Properties Limited. These are 50 by 100 plots going for a cash offer price of 220,000 Kenya shillings and 250,000 Kenya shillings.